Welcome back to Road to Fire. We're a family of 4 documenting our journey to FIRE, financial independence, retire early. Let's chat about our June 2024 budget. I will share details on our household income, outline our expected expenses for the month, and how we're tracking towards our 2024 goals with all real numbers like always, so please hang with me. Now we're planning for our 35% savings rate in June. This is our after-tax savings rate target, and it will be our highest savings month yet because it's the summer. This means no school, and that means no private school tuition for my son. Plus, we don't have to pay for school activities, no birthday parties, no bag lunch, all leading to higher savings for us in June. Now, he'll be going to a few summer camps, but we always balance the time in camps versus just having an old school 90s summer of playing outside with friends in the neighborhood. Our goal is to have a savings rate of over 30% each month, which has been on and off this year. Last month, our savings rate was 30.2%, but in April, it was only 25.6%. Saving just 1% more is thousands into our investment accounts. It might seem like we're splitting hairs, but it matters. Our June budget will finally be a normal month. We're expected to bring in about $20,000 this month, and that's our norm or our target. We also have a few big expenses on our rental that push this down a bit, but I'm okay with that as wear and tear is expected on an over 100-year-old house. This month, we don't have personal travel. I unfortunately have 3 work trips, but that's all expense with the company. We don't have any weddings or any additional events that require spending. We'll be at our normal run rate, and I wish we had more months like this, but that's life. As summer kicks off, my goal is for our family to enjoy as many free events as possible. Some of our museums have free Thursdays or Sunday nights for kids. There are movies in the park or open concerts near the lake, and then there are many themed days at the library that I know my kids will love. Because my daughter is now at the fun toddler stage, going out as a family of 4 is much easier, and I'm going to take advantage of it. We ended last month at about $400 over budget, and I'm hoping we nail it this month. Okay, so how do we budget? We budget using the zero-based budget method, which I share every single time I have a budget, and it's the best way to budget in my opinion. Essentially, all income has a line item in our budget. Your income is either tied to an expense or to savings, and savings will include your sinking funds, cash, and investments. This type of budgeting makes sure all of your income is accounted for. For example, say you make $5,000 a month and your expenses roll up to be about $4,000, thus making your savings $1,000 respectively. You essentially have assigned every dollar in your budget a task. A budget simply tells your money where to go and when. Nothing complicated about budgeting, and we've been using the zero-based budget method for years and it's worked really well for us. Okay, so here's a quick recap on how May 2024 went. It was my birthday month, so I did splurge a bit more on luxury food items, plus we grilled a few times, and I did go for the expensive cheese this time. Overall, May was better than April when it comes to budgeting in total. The goal is to be under or send more to savings to help our saving rates go up each and every year. So I always want to highlight groceries, and last month we budgeted $650 and I spent $893. And this was for 3 adults and 2 kids. We have been doing really well on our grocery budget, but in May I was a bit more liberal with our spending and we were a little bit off for that month. But date night was a win for us last month. We planned $275 and spent $224. We have been doing date days or date lunches on Fridays versus evening dinners, which has saved us money and time. Because my husband and I both work from home on Fridays, we have lunch as a date versus having it at dinner. And because the kids are in school, we didn't need a nanny, so it was a win-win for us last month. And I wanted to highlight health and fitness this month. The line item was budgeted at $75, which covers my husband's gym membership. But I forgot to add in my yoga expense, so we were over about $90 last month. I'm not complaining, but I hope June would be a little bit tighter. Okay, so how are we tracking towards our 2024 financial goals? We had 3 original simple goals and we added another one around giving. I will share an update on that one in the next budget video. So our first goal is to invest $50,000 into the stock market or within a business. We are reviewing one promising business right now, but more to come. So far, most of our after-tax dollars have been sent to investing in the market. Year to date, we have invested about $18,500. This is about $2,200 short of where we need to be, but I'm not worried as we are making up ground. And I expect us to be on track by the end of June. Goal number 2 is our hardest goal, and that's to spend on average less than $250 a month on takeout. So this has been a struggle. Right now we're averaging $472 a month, and to hit this goal we'll need to fast for the next 2 months, which doesn't seem likely. We might not hit this goal by the end of the year, but I hope to get this average down over the summer. Sometimes on busy work days, just ordering Thai from our local favorite restaurant is easier than prepping and cooking an entire meal at home, and it shows in our budget. And goal number 3 is to have a savings rate over 30%, which I've talked about. Through May, we are averaging about 28.6%. Last month, we were just over 30%, but we need to average over 30% throughout the summer to be on track for the remainder of the year. It's doable, but not easy. But I can't wait to see where we are by the end of June as we do that half-year check-in point. Now, we are making grounds on our investing goals. I don't really start worrying about our goals until after that mid-year mark because I know our budget, savings rate, and income ebbs and flows over the first few months of the year due to consulting work, bonuses, and travel. So once we get to June or the end of June, I have a better read on how we're going to track to our annual goals. Now, I take goals seriously. I have always. Once I write down or profess a goal, it becomes like the 10 commandments for me. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I follow through with my goals. Even when I don't hit them, I'm still proud because every one of our goals is just a tad bit aspirational. They are always stretch goals. In the last 2.5 years, we slowed down on investing to build up our emergency fund. I don't regret that at all. It was important to us that we had enough in our emergency fund, so at least 6 months on hand, and we're working to have 1 year in the coming years. But putting money into a high-yield savings account doesn't compare to investing. So our investing goal this year is to help us kind of catch up. I don't really follow the market as we invest using the DCA method and will always, but from month to month, there has been some swings. I have to remember to think long-term and not worry about the month-over-month fluctuations, but I'm human. And as our income continues to grow, we will continue to increase our investing goals year over year. Even when we do reach 5, I don't see us stopping investing as it just means more security for us long term. Regardless, I'm very happy with our progress so far this year and I feel confident for the remainder of the year. Okay, here's our projected June income report. To make things easier for tracking, I put everything into 4 buckets. Our W-2 is 61% of our income, and to have this at 50%, we are beginning to create other streams of income. 12% is for passive income, and the remainder is our catch-all bucket. I will break this out once these other streams of income become more consistent. Okay, so here are the details. I round all of our numbers down to 0 or 5 for simplicity. Okay, first is our W-2 income at $12,430, and this represents after 401k and HSA contributions, and this is the standard for us. My husband is actively looking for a new job, so I hope to see this increase in the coming months. We have no planned bonuses this month as expected. Our passive income for this month includes our rental income and YouTube income. Our rental income is lower as we had high maintenance costs in both units this month. And for other, I lumped in side hustle work, consulting, contracting, and business income all into one. And again, we expect about $5,565 for this month. So our total expected income from June will be $20,355 for all of our current income streams. This is about $3,000 less than May, as May was a 3-pay period month for us. Okay, so I've got slightly obsessed with charts lately, so here's an income tracker for 2024. As you can see, it's ranged from about $20,000 upwards to over $25,000 in the first 6 months of the year. We're averaging about $23,000 right now, but I expect that to level out to about $20,000 for the remainder of the year. January and February are bonus payout months for my husband and myself, so that's why things were a little bit higher in the early time of this year. Now, I track our income to keep us motivated. When we think about the 3 levers to reach FIRE faster, decreasing expenses is always emphasized. But for us, increasing our income has really helped us propel our journey. The goal is to continue to increase our income year over year to at least hedge against inflation and to keep pushing ourselves. In 2010, our annual household income was $32,000. Today, it's over $325,000, almost a 10x growth in 14 years. Okay, so here's our June expense report or our monthly budget. Our top 5 categories this month are the usual suspects. They are investing, rental and primary home mortgages, tithing, of course, and then childcare. This month, these 5 expenses represent 74% of our total expenses, and for the most part, they are fixed. Overall, our total expenses are just over $20,000, which matches our income. Okay, so let's get into the details. Investing is on top this month at just about $6,000, and we are chasing that $50,000 target and will hit it this year. Next are our mortgages for our rental and primary home at $2,555 and $2,300 respectively. Our rental mortgage went up due to taxes. Then we have tithing. We believe in tithing 10% of our income to our church and local charities. We plan to give $2,160, which includes our expected YouTube earnings for May as well. Okay, for childcare this month, this includes daycare, swimming, piano, and soccer for both of our children, and it's at $1,855. June is the only month where we don't pay private school tuition for my son, who is now a second grader. Okay, for cash savings, we have about $1,075 allocated for this, and this is to help us build our emergency fund to about 1 year in the coming years. We then have $765 budgeted for our primary home utilities, and this includes gas, phone, electricity, trash, water, and internet. So for groceries, I'm keeping that at $650 as we aren't hosting this month and I'm not packing lunch daily for my son, so we should be on track for this line item. So household is budgeted at $570, and this includes our cleaner, lawn care, toiletries, diapers, household repair items, or anything else we need for the home. Health and beauty is at $520, and that's for my husband's gym membership, my salon, hair and massage, and skin visits or any other beauty items like foundation or mascara that I might buy for the month. Okay, and for business, we have a higher than normal budget of $435, and that's for monthly subscriptions and one-time charges for my husband's apps or e-sites. Entertainment is at $300, and that is booked for date night, streaming services, and fun activities for my family. And then we have miscellaneous line item, and that's like our catch-all for items that I don't really know how to categorize. It's for our co-pays or random Amazon purchases, and it's at about $260 this month. Restaurants are still locked at $250 for June, but in July, I'll probably have to reevaluate this line item as we continue to not hit it. So apparel is clothing needs we may have, and it's the end of the school year, so that's when I go through all of my kids' clothing and see what is appropriately sized for them or not, and so it's still going to be a budget around $225. Okay, and then the final line item is car, and that's for the gas for our Audi or any car expenses, and that's locked in at $225, which is a slight uptick from the previous month. So our total expenses for June are $20,335, which matches our income like always. I'm happy to see a strong savings rate for this month. Okay, how does your spending change in the summer? We tend to spend a lot more in Q4 due to the holidays, and that's usually when we travel abroad. But the summer is our low season. Because school is out and nature becomes our activities, we try to spend as much time as possible outside and taking advantage of all the free events, lakes, trails, and parks. I'm subscribed to a parent magazine for our community, and the activities are endless. Most people take their big trips in the summer, and we have always been an off-season traveler for many reasons, so we like to stay in town and enjoy our city over the summer. But it's definitely not easy managing an elementary-age child at home over the summer. Keeping my son entertained and enriched is a challenge, but it does save us a lot of money. We do have him in a couple of half-day camps this summer, and because I work from home, I can balance my schedule to make it work with pickup and drop-offs at midday. Now, I don't know if it's just me, but this year has flown by. And I don't want time to pass me by. We are not on the slow FI path, but we're not speeding to early retirement or financial independence. Many people whom I've read about who have reached FIRE early outline their biggest regrets, and it always comes down to working long hours and missing moments or not focusing on the now. Now, I don't want that to be us. I love our balance today. Don't get me wrong, I'm not stagnant. We are always aspiring to be better than yesterday, but I'm not stressing about pushing to an unrealistic timeline. Our budget is stable now. We are in a comfortable, more than comfortable place, and I love it. We will retire in our 40s or reach FI in our 40s and still enjoy all of our 30s and 20s along the way. There's nothing better than that kind of balance. Now, if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. Until next time.